I can't keep track of what's happening. I can't keep track of it. I can't. No matter how much I try, no matter how much I try to focus on this, just when I think I have an understanding, I find out that I don't. Because it's that complicated. It is that incredible. And I'm not saying that for any other reason other than it's true. This afternoon, I was on the show with my good friend Sean Atwood in the UK. Sean's an extremely popular, tremendous broadcaster and streaming platform YouTube star of note. And we were talking about, even in the UK, they're saying, can you believe what happened regarding Trump and Zelensky? It's the biggest thing ever. I don't think anybody understands it. It changed everything. Zelensky now is saying for the first time, he's saying, guess what? I will consider dropping out if it helps either get Ukraine into NATO. He wants out because he wants his money. He wants his money. And he wants his money because he understands it's over for him. Because not only that, USAID is over. It's all over. It's all done. It's finished. As we speak, one of the last vestiges of all that's over is called the Academy Awards, and it's over with as well. Did you know, somebody told me, I don't know if it's true or not, but the movie Reagan was disqualified because he did not meet DEI category. This, take a good look at this. Next year, you might not see this. You might not see these people again. This vestige promoted and propped up by your money, our money, by globalist money to promote this nonsense, this horror. Trump came in. And Elon came in. And everything changed. Everything changed. And then the other day, when Zelensky tooted out of his mind, maybe, perhaps, as many people are suggesting, changed the course of everything. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about you. We're going to be talking about everything, my friends. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. I have been talking all day long about this. And I am absolutely, positively nowhere even near close to dealing with all the permutations and all the aspects of this. But first, my friend, I say to you, we've talked about emergency food for the longest time. This is not a joke. This is not something that we're just kind of pretending exists out there. It is a real threat, and you should pay close attention. Listen up, patriots. Just because Donald Trump is back doesn't mean the chaos is over. The world is on edge. Listen carefully. Weather disasters, supply chain failures, labor strikes, economic sabotage. And let's not forget, the radical left is in full meltdown mode. They're not used to losing, and desperate people do desperate things. Capiche? So listen carefully. What happens when the food trucks stop rolling, when grocery store shelves go empty, when power outages leave you in the dark with nothing? You must act now. Prepare. Go to preparewithlionel.com and save $100 on the 3-month emergency food supply. Delicious, nutrient-packed meals that last 25 years. This is not an MRE. This is the world's premier survival food, except no substitutes. If you don't prepare now, you'll regret it. Once disaster strikes, the FEMA lines will be miles long. Will you be standing in them, or will you be safe, ready, and in control? Time is running out. Supplies are vanishing fast. So go to preparewithlionel.com now before it's too late. Such good advice. Such good advice. Such good advice. My friends, I want you to think about something right now. Do you really understand what has happened? How the West's biggest lie exposed, how it absolutely became exposed once and for all. Ukraine was always a provocation. This is something which people, I don't know, I knew that, we knew that, Jeffrey Sachs knew that, A lot of us knew that. But many people really didn't understand it because they kind of took the idea that if it was Russia, it must be bad. And Americans didn't have a lot of time. You were busy with certain things. You didn't have time to go through the facts of the case. I understand this. I swear to God, I understand. And I understand how a lot of time, a lot of things happen where you say to yourself, you know what, I'm just sort of, I'm just busy. But now it's different. Now it's different. 41 days ago, the president was elected. I mean, it was inaugurated. 41 days. That's all it was. Doesn't it seem like it's been forever? Doesn't it seem like this is the most incredible thing? 41 days. I mean, 41 days. It still blows my mind. It still blows my mind. And yet, we're just finding out now for the first time how things work. Americans were force-fed the lie that Ukraine was some innocent democracy, fighting for survival. The media told you that Russia's invasion was unprovoked, that it was this crazy idea that this madman Putin wanted somehow to reconsolidate, reconfigure, readhese the, I guess you'd call it the Soviet Union, I guess. Putin said one time something to the effect of, and I paraphrase, he says, if you don't have a soft spot in your heart for the Soviet Union, you don't have a heart. Or if you don't look back fondly, you don't have a heart. And if you want to go back to it, you don't have a brain. So there was always that balance. But nobody cared to think about that because that's not what they were telling you. That's not what the Russian collusion folks were telling you. The goal of the world was simple this. You had to believe it or else. If you didn't believe this, you were a Russian sympathizer or Putin sympathizer, Putin apologist. But now, more and more people, real Americans, real Europeans, real citizens of the world, and real policymakers are waking up. Are you seeing what's happening right now? It's the most incredible thing in the world. They're realizing that Ukraine wasn't some helpless victim. It wasn't this country that, oh my God, the marauding. It was a deliberate provocation by the West, a chess piece used by the globalist elite, by the shadow government, to bait Russia into war, to goad Russia, to provoke Russia. That's exactly what it was. And since 2014, the U.S. and NATO pushed Ukraine closer and closer to the Russian border, armed it to the teeth, and ignored every diplomatic warning from Moscow. It was a trap, a proxy trap. It was designed to weaken Russia, to enrich military contractors, to pay the grift, pay the bribe, pay the vig, and justify an ever-growing surveillance state. And it almost worked. Until Trump. Until Trump blew the entire game apart. They had no idea. None. See, this is the part that kills me. This is the part that's so interesting. Trump came along and he said, I'm going to do a few things here. And we said, okay, what is it? He goes, first of all, I'm going to bring this 41 days ago, rather. I'm going to bring this guy, Elon Musk. Who? Elon Musk. Oh, yeah, it's the guy with okay. What's he going to do? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, can you give us a hint? Well, yeah. See, there's this thing called Doge, government efficiency. And they're going to come in and you're not going to know what hit you. They're just a bunch of kids. Go look at Elon. He got a T-shirt. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing, right? He's got these kids, some 19-year-old kid with big balls. But they're really good at numbers, and they're really good at what he did to find out all of the waste in Twitter when he turned it into X. He absolutely did it right. He did the right thing. He did it. And all of a sudden, oh my God, the taproot was cut and everything shut. You have no, I have no, when I say you, we have no idea what happened. Do you ever have something, years ago when you have a Christmas tree and they have these old lights and they have all of a sudden they have one light burns out of it, the whole thing is out. You realize, boy, that light was really important. Or maybe a fuse blows in one house and then the whole block goes out and you realize, my God, they were all connected. That's what Doge finds out. USAID is what we call it. That's kind of a metonym, if you will. But that's what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Renita Gamboa says, be careful. Someone is trying to scam your followers on YouTube with a fake profile named Lionel Nation. I have screenshots and recorded WhatsApp thread. Keep on keeping on. Love you. Send it to me. That's interesting. We appreciate that, Renita. Please send it to me. Lionel@lionelmedia.com. Lionel@lionelmedia.com. We appreciate that so much. We have ways to take care of that. You know you're doing well when that happens. In any event, dear friends, in any event, everything happened all of a sudden, so quickly, so quickly. And they said, wait a minute. This is Donald Trump, right? He's the joke, right? He's the joke, right? Right? Yeah. But he's not acting like a joke. And who are these people? Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy. You haven't seen what Bobby's up to yet, have you? No. Haven't heard anything from him. You'll see. He's got Elon Musk. Kash Patel. Don't worry. Kash is not. Don't let this Epstein kerfuffle. A lot of folks are really enjoying making a lot of really going crazy over the Epstein, the binders and whatever. Give Pam Bondi a chance. Just relax. Take it easy. We'll see. But all of a sudden, it changed. And when Elon Musk cut this USAID, which was also connected by virtue of all of these other things, it was connected to all these other connective tissue types of, all of a sudden, everything went away. You're going to find that everything was from that tranche. Where do you think this came from? What are some of the things you're going to be missing? You're going to be seeing World Economic Forum, gone. Davos, gone. Hollywood, gone. Say goodnight. Watch tonight. You're not going to see this anymore. Who do you think promoted this? Who do you think promoted? Where do you think Hollywood and the film industry has been dead for I don't know how long? Where do you think this came from? Where? Where? It's been promoted by this. And then all of a sudden, the biggest story, the biggest cash cow came from him. Came from Zelensky. And let me tell you what else they're going to do. Don't be surprised if somebody goes to the president and says, okay, I'll make a deal with you. I'll make a deal with you. I'll give you, whether it's Keir Starmer, but do me a favor. What is it? Just for me. What is it, Mr. President? I want you to cut off all his money. The money that he had, the offshore accounts, cut him. I want one day to find out, Mr. Zelensky, we just called the Cayman Island banks. Yeah. Money's not there. What? It's not there. What do you mean it's not there? It's not there. Zell picks up the phone and calls up. I don't know who it was. Hey, where's the money? Yeah, we were going to call you about that. It's over. We stopped it. It was one of the conditions of peace in the world for us to do this. Wait a minute, you can't do that. I'm going to sue you. You're going to sue us? You're going to sue me? Where are you going to go, to The Hague? There's no suing. You make a little less than a bill, but that's about it. For your time and effort. But all those monies, oh no, it's gone. And that's Trump saying, I never forgot what you did to me. I never forgot what you did to me. I never forgot. Look at this. Almost 1,000 views or 28 likes. You're right about that. The likes, we need the likes, my friend. We need the likes. The likes change everything. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. But my friends, even the leftist journalists, even the European officials, even former deep staters, they're all admitting now, they're seeing that MAGA, that President Trump, has what he's been saying for years. And this is our kind of our mantra. And he's saying it, and we've been saying it, a lot of people have been saying it. And by the way, let me also tell you, people who don't necessarily, I'm not going to mention names to you. I'm not going to mention names. There is a cacophony of voices of people who will say things, and whereas, you know, we don't have to sit here and agree with every, it is the most wonderful proliferation of voices that I've ever heard. It's wonderful. I don't want to mention their names because maybe they don't want me to mention their names, because I'm still radioactive. And I love it. But it's true. I'm hearing things. We have so much great stuff, and you're not going to hear it on Fox News. You're not going to hear it. You're going to have it is. I'm. Please forgive me. I am at a loss for words because of all that's happening. Not only is so much happening in the past 41 days, but the amount of people commenting on this is beyond anything. But here are the absolute truths. Number one, Ukraine was never about democracy. Lose that mantra. That was a lie. Number two, Zelensky is a pawn, a thug, a criminal, not a leader. He was central casting. He's a mannequin, a marionette. He's a sock puppet. He's a cutout. He's a Potemkin village. He does central casting. He's a pawn. He's a crisis actor. Zelensky is nothing. He's a joke. He's a jadrul. Number three, U.S. and NATO deliberately provoked Russia. Do you hear what I'm saying? We did it. We, the United States, the West, you can call it different things, and NATO, provoked and goaded Russia. What do you, is there anyone here who does not understand this? And finally, the war was avoidable, but the situation was exacerbated by the usual suspect. And that's why, here's the beautiful part. Are you following this? That's why Putin and Trump are now in the position to broker real peace. Let me see if I can explain this to you. And listen to me carefully. Listen, my friends, like you've never listened before. This is so delicious. They started off hating Trump. They tried to kill President Trump. And by the way, while we're on the subject, JD Vance, or as Zelensky called him, JD. Listen, JD. When he said JD, I thought, that's it. That's it. This guy's 100% mountain hillbilly, okay? This guy skinned varmints before, okay? Possum and coon and whatever water moccasins, and he does not cotton to you, Mr. Pretender. But anyway, so by the way, he should not be out. He should not be out skiing. You should not be outside, because they realize you are next, sir, and you know what they do. The same people who tried to kill Mr. President Trump have you in mind too. Remember, do not, as George Bush would say, do not misunderestimate these people. Next, Trump and Putin. Trump and Putin now, for the first time, are meeting. They are coalescing. They are becoming powerful forces, the likes of which we never thought possible. They are now bigger and badder and stronger than ever. Freedom, that's just some people talking. Freedom says, I can't believe there is people on the internet and news thinks Trump is not respecting Zelensky and being a bully and had no business judging his clothes. Zelensky acted like a child. Freedom, do me a favor, my friend. Repeat after me. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. Say it. I don't care. We don't care. The DIY guru says, I'm listening on the way home from work. Excellent, my friend. Excellent. Drive carefully. And do not let the guffaws and cachinnations and chortling in any way affect your ability to negotiate the curves and the highways and the byways. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, they took Trump and they took Putin and they merged them, and now two are the greatest peace brokers in recent world history. Do you know what happened? Zelensky left, and they're looking to Trump. Trump is loved everywhere. You don't understand. From sea to shining sea, from shore to shore, from hither and yon, all across this place. It's called the world. They loved him. Nobody likes Zelensky. They know this guy's a punk, and he's a fraud a mile away. But who are going to say, we brought you peace? Trump and Putin. And Xi Jinping, by the way, Trump and Putin in China were pushed together by virtue of Biden. Trump's got to kind of reconfigure that, but he will. Forget, my friends, the media spin. Forget the deep state hysteria. Forget the shadow government lunacy. The reality is that Putin and Trump are the only world leaders actually capable of ending the war. They will get the Nobel Peace Prize. They did it. You've just elevated them through an apotheosis, through a beatification, a canonization, an elevation, a singular, I don't know what the word is. Putin was Putin and this and Putin and that, and now he's and when Donald Trump reaches his hand and look at each other and say, look what we did. Look how we destroyed them. The man, Vladimir Putin, who supposedly was involved in some kind of a thing called collusion with Putin, with Trump. I don't even know how. I'm not even sure where I'm not even sure how they even colluded. But Trump wants peace. He made it clear. Ukraine needs to negotiate, or the U.S. is out. And now he's out. Did you see? You saw this tonight, right? On X, they showed that, and X is just fantastic. That's where I get the new news. The new news versus the old news, which makes no sense. But anyway, Zelensky basically said something to the effect of, I will step down, because he just wants to get out and get his money. But no more funding a losing war just to satisfy global jackals and greed. Putin wants security, like everybody else did. He said from the start, he hasn't changed his position at all. Ukraine cannot become a NATO puppet on Russia's border. That's not an outrageous demand. That's common sense. And the rest of the world is agreeing with him and starting to agree, if not agreeing right now. Nations that once cheered for Ukraine are now turning their backs because it makes sense. It makes sense. Bubba T. Buzz says, I loved you since 1991, Lionel, and I loved you as well. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for this. Thank you for that glorious approbation, that paean. I appreciate that. And paean is not a reference to any type of undenism or urolagny that occurred on the percales of the hotel in Russia called Pissgate, I believe. P-A-E-A-N, not undenism. I think you know what I'm talking about. The rest of the world right now is agreeing. Nations, I'm telling you again, that once cheered for Ukraine are now turning their backs, and the global mood has shifted. Everyone is now tired of this war, and they are turning to Presidents Putin and Trump to fix it. Thank you. Thank you, Tony Blinken. Thank you. Thank you, Biden. And that's why the real power brokers, the real ones, are now looking to Trump and Putin, not Zelensky, to settle the crisis. Do you hear what I just said? Not Zelensky. They're looking to Putin and Trump. It's the most incredible thing. I don't know if President Trump ever really realized this would happen. I don't even know if he recognized that this would happen. I don't know whether he recognizes the fact that this would happen. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think he had an idea, but not like this. Maybe there is a God. Maybe there is a benevolent God. Maybe there's a God who loves liberty and freedom and truth. I hope so. Because it's almost, this is mystical, this change. And let's talk about this Epstein file, shall we? We got to get to the bottom of this. The Epstein files. Is this another nail in the globalist coffin? What does it mean? I've told you, my friends, at the beginning, it's over. Don't worry about it. We're going to move on. I'd handle it completely differently, but that's me. As if the deep state wasn't already in full panic mode. Remember, the long-awaited Epstein files will be, put it this way, the information is going to drop. Maybe not a file in a particular binder, but it will fall. And they're proving exactly what America First patriots have suspected for years. And you have to understand something. Listen to me very carefully. Number one, and it may be by analogy, it may not be necessarily directly from the Epstein files, but the world's elite are compromised. And I'm going to use the word elite with a lowercase e. They're compromised. The deep state is dirtier than anyone ever imagined, and the names, connections, and sickening crimes are now being laid bare. And what you are seeing, let me be very, very careful. Since the beginning of time, for reasons that we can talk about in a variety of different ways, the biggest marketing and slavery that has ever taken place is that of human sales and mercantilism, with the actual sale of humanity. It's a sale of the soul. It's a sale of innocence. It's a sale of more than just physical bodies, physical beings. It's far different. My friends, the radical left, these people, the globalist puppets, these sick, and by the by, let me stop right now and listen to me very carefully. Listen to me carefully. Do you know what tonight is? Do you know what tonight is? Do you know what it is? Tonight is a thing we call the Academy Awards. And what the Academy Awards is, all of those sick people in Hollywood. If I could somehow figure out how to take that, the site of this event, somehow seal the doors, lift the building off of its foundation, propel it into space, relocate it on some foreign planet, which is redundant, I promise you, depravity would drop 15 to 20% in this country. This is a combination of the sickest, vilest, degenerate, perverted paraphiles you can imagine. Do you know what is going on when they all meet? The ceremonial, weird, the cabals and the covens and the rites and the procedures and the ceremonies. Freedom, says my point, Lionel, is I'm very happy Trump sent Zelensky packing. A real leader in D.C. is back in the saddle. Absolutely. Your point well taken, my friend. Well taken and well understood. I had a friend of mine one time who said, we'll get to this in a bit, but just understand this. Do not think, despite what you might have heard, that somehow don't let me see if I can rephrase this. Don't put everything into Epstein per se. Put it into the notion of the people that made that possible. That's all I'm going to say. And then when I go back to this, the radical left, my friends, the radical left, the globalists and shadow government puppets, and the mainstream media, they're all complicit. They're doing everything they can to distract and spin and suppress this bombshell, but it's too late because we've been onto this for a long time. And it may not be Epstein per se, but we know what's going on. From Hollywood to the highest level of politics, they're all exposed. And for the first time, we're talking about the predation and what is done to children and adults as well, like we've never talked about before, thanks to him in a very, very strange way. Pilgrim Media says, is the money that does it to them or the drugs? Oh, no. First money, but also, not only that, it's a part of the... Let me give you an example. You become a rock star. And you are going to be a rock star. And you know who knows about this? Chris Cox, who says, I heard one time long ago that each of us has a CUSIP number connected to the Social Security number, that it was traded as stock in the public market. True or false? What an odd idea. No. It's nice. I understand it, but no. But I've seen that a gazillion times. It's just like people who believe in these sovereign people who say, I don't need a license because I'm traveling, or something, or I don't need to pay income tax because there's no actual statute that mandates. Yeah, okay. Be careful of that. But I want to explain something to you about what's going on. Let's assume you go into the world of you're a guitar player and you're very, very good, and you're going to sign, maybe not now, because we're going to change. Because look at how, have you heard Lola Young? Have you heard Messy? I love that song. She's huge, big. She got her, it was on TikTok. And then later on, it was whatever, the days of this, of being, you know, signing a deal and being Led Zeppelin or whatever. Anyway, but let's assume then. So you came from, you know, from Wheaton, Illinois, and you all of a sudden show up, and all of a sudden you want to be a rock star, and you grow your hair long and you wear tight jeans and this and that, and blah, blah. It's like Spinal Tap, and then you find out, hey, there's groupies. So now you're into indiscriminate liaisons, and you get the clap, and you find out, well, everybody does drugs. Everybody does it. Well, you're a part of us, aren't you? Oh, of course I am. Of course. So now you're into indiscriminate liaisons, and you're into drugs, and then you're into all kinds of things. And then later on, as you get into this, you meet these kind of weird, like the Jim Morrison types and the you know, the spiritual types. And, you know, Sammy Davis was into Satanism, and people who get bored and people who get, you know, and you want to be hip. I mean, you want to be you're not going to be you're not going to join Led Zeppelin and be a teetotaler, are you? Or eschewing drugs? No, you want to buy into the whole thing. Just like when you're a star. Oh my God, you're a star. They throw themselves at you. You don't live in a world that others do. You don't pay for anything. You can do whatever you want. Diddy found that out. So to answer your question, Pilgrim, in a very, very weird way, the drugs may be confounded, but it's a way of thinking. It's like going into the seminary, going into the monastery, becoming a priest. I'm sorry. No offense. But when in Rome, baby. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Why does all of this matter? Why? Because these are the same people who push the war in Ukraine. The people that we want are the people of the left. All of the ones we're talking about are people who are Democrats, not Republicans, Democrats, radical left Democrats. The bilge, the flotsam and jetsam of humanity. Those are the people. The same people who funneled billions into Zelensky's black hole of corruption. The same people who told you to trust the experts while they ran a human trafficking ring behind the scenes. The ones who used you as laboratory rats. Trust the science. Trust us. It's all interconnected, all of this. And now the radical left has no one left to talk to. No one. You don't understand this. Here's the best part. If there is, I keep saying this because this is about the fifth best part. I'm not going to defy the notion of best. The best part is the radical left is imploding. It's imploding in real time. You see, they used to rely on Europe, on the media, on Ukraine, on the deep state to push their agenda. But now what? What? What's going on? Where did they go? Where did they go? Seriously, where does this go? And 41 days ago this started, but the other day with Zelensky, that was it. Europe is backtracking. Zelensky is failing. If not, Zelensky is through. Let's just say it right now. He's done. And I don't want to be ghoulish here, but don't be surprised if something happens to maybe change your view. If this were a movie and something were to happen to him, and something were to be attributed to some type of Trump dark force, might it not perhaps sway the opinion of people? I don't know. Laurie Cook says Woodward from Wheaton, Illinois. Yes, right. And also, Wheaton was John Belushi. You saw that. You saw that Red Grange, I think it was. You saw that Bill Murray. Did you see that Bill Murray? Bill Murray was that was the most boring. interview I've ever seen. I don't know what that was. It was so, it was so bad. What was that all about? And insulting Joe Rogan. I don't even know who you were anyway. I don't want to get out of off topic. You know me, my friends. Europe, backtracking, falling. Zelensky, failing. The Epstein scandal, blowing up, but it's don't worry about that. But the deep state is getting crushed. And they have no allies left. The DNC, the Democrats, the radical left, the globalists, the intel agencies, the deep state, the police state, the shadow government, the ruling class, all of them, they're all turning on each other. They don't know what to do. They know Trump is back. They know they can't stop the America First movement. It's done. They don't know what to do. And you're going to hear, they might go on CNN and, they might turn to James Carville and Susan Rice. It doesn't really matter. Don't be alarmed. It doesn't matter. They're going to say something. They're going to do whatever they think they have to do. They're going to go on CNN. Nobody cares about CNN. Better hurry up because CNN is absolutely done. Laurie Cook says, Bill Murray was less than impressive. I thought he was boring. My God, was he boring. Listen, Laurie, there are many, many people, as you know, who they're great comedians, but they're just or they're good actors, but they're just not. Also, Gene Hackman, wonderful guy, right? Was a prick to directors. Very difficult to deal with. Very difficult. Sorry to see what happened. But these people they're not your friends. And there's nothing about them that's in any way interesting. Just because they can act or do something doesn't mean they're great people. Never meet your heroes. And when you've been in a situation where you have been so cool and you're in this SNL world, it's easy. So anyway, remember, expect nothing from people. Oh, and by the way, little aside, little time out here. If you ever meet somebody really big, with the exception of maybe President Trump or something, but just a star or a musician, never talk about the fact that they're a star. Talk about something as though you can say, can you believe this traffic? Which way did you come up here? Did you take 75 or did you? Because they will not believe. One day I was in our old Irish pub in the neighborhood, and there was a guy from, I don't know what show, not Desperate Housewives. It was something. And I didn't know who the guy was. I had no idea who he was. And he and I got along great. And turns out later he said I was the only one who I didn't treat him like, I didn't know who he was. And I'll never forget that. Never treat people like stars. Amwa says, thanks for putting a George Carlin twist to your current events. XOL. Well, thank you, but and that's a tremendous compliment. But it's a little different. Remember the greats: Dick Gregory, Mort Saul, Bill Hicks. Those were Carlin, of course, but they were big time. So remember, I'm very excited about what's happening right now, as you can imagine. And the reason for that is important, very, very critical. I want you to think for 1 minute, for just to stop for 1 second. I want you to think about one guy. And I'm telling you, and I'm saying it right now, and I'm going to say it till the day I die. I love people who stick with the game. And Mike Lindell from Mike Pillow has been sticking with the game and sticking with the president since day one. You know, when it comes to comfort, support, and a good night's sleep, my friends, My Pillow has revolutionized the way millions of Americans rest their heads with unmatched quality, cutting-edge design, and a commitment to American-made excellence. My Pillow has become a household name. And now with mypillow.com/Lionel, or using the promo code Lionel, you can unlock exclusive discounts and deals that bring comfort and savings right to your doorstep. That's right, my friend. Mike Lindell and the team in My Pillow aren't just selling pillows. They're on a mission to transform the sleep experience with a wide variety of products beyond their signature pillows. Whether you're looking for supportive adjustable pillows, luxurious Giza dream sheets, cozy towel, mattress toppers that cradle your body in comfort, My Pillow offers it all. And with their 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty, you can be confident that My Pillow stands behind every product they sell. Now, why My Pillow stands out? Let me tell you, unlike generic pillows you grab off a department store shelf, My Pillow is customizable and engineered to cater to different sleep styles. Whether you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper or a stomach sleeper, their patented interlocking fill technology adjusts to your specific comfort needs, keeping your neck and spine properly aligned throughout the night. No more waking up with that sore neck, no more tossing and turning, just the restful, rejuvenating, and exhilarating sleep that you deserve. And it doesn't stop at pillows. My Pillow's Giza Dream Sheets, made from the finest Egyptian cotton, offer a smooth, breathable, and luxurious feel, turning your bed into a sleep heaven. So right now, my friends, do the right thing. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. It's easy for me to say, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. Simply the best. Trust me. Now, my friends, let's talk about a couple of other things too, which is, and thank you so much for letting me into your heart and brain and space and everything to let you know, because I'm not saying this just to be kind of cute. I mean it. I have never, ever felt, I haven't felt this excited and I don't really know how long it's been. Warren Ocasio, by the way, who is related to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, says, who is funding those late night shows? So dull and lame. I can't believe the ratings support their existence. Guess, Warren. Guess. I'm always hesitant to say who's funny and who's not and all that, because I just throw me out of the loop in terms of what's exciting and what I like to watch. But all I know is we know who's responsible for this. And also keep something in mind. Everything is changing. Fashions change, music change, people change. The way music is delivered, styles, rap, clothing, food, what we like. To always pay attention to what's happening. Like a good friend, Ham Radio, 1981 says, a tad off topic, do you think Elon or Doge will find the money that funds Area 51 and such? Maybe not those in particular. I think that's budgeted to Groom Lake and all that stuff. If that's what you mean, I mean, there is a Area 51 and they're not hiding it. What it's holding is a different story. See, the problem is right now, people can't stop Trump. They don't know what to do. See, they know they can't stop America first. Remember, it's America first. It's not just MAGA. It's not just Doge. It's America first. They're eating themselves alive. They're going crazy. And they tried everything. My friend, you understand this? They tried everything. The Russian collusion. Can any of you, seriously, for $1,000 in a new car, can you tell me, figuratively, how did the Russian collusion work? Anybody? Anybody say, well, it's very simple. You see, Putin goes, no, I think it was something to the effect of they bought ads? Facebook ads? I don't even know how the hell this thing works. Facebook ads? I'm dead serious. I've asked people, how does the Russian collusion work? I don't know. They took the Russian collusion. They had 2 fake impeachments. They rigged trials, censorship. January 6 lies. They failed. And now they have nothing. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Remember something. Prediction? Logan Act. What? The Logan Act. Mr. President, I beg, I beseech, I entreat, I implore you and Pam Bondi and the DOJ and everybody to go after the Logan Act. Logan Act, 1799. It was, I think, utilized twice. I think there were 2 indictments that were returned to true bills, as we say. And it deals with citizens being prohibited, prescribed from actually dealing with countries and the like, along with acting in the place of the government. Does that make any sense? You can't go as a private citizen and negotiate with foreign countries. You can't do that. Now, they keep saying, well, nobody's really been, prosecuted on that. Really? Yeah, nobody's really been prosecuted. I don't think President Trump, because nobody's really been prosecuted. Oh, so rare prosecutions, that doesn't happen? It happened with the president. Happened with President Trump. Why shouldn't it happen with anybody else? President Trump was brought up on a case which nobody really can understand to this day. And it specifically dealt with, this was so funny, it dealt with a couple of things. Number one was the case involving Dusty Saddles, or whatever her name is, Stormy, what's her face? He signed an NDA. His lawyer or accountant may have put that check in the attorney's fees division or ledger, part of the ledger or whatever. And through this mental masturbatory machination, whatever, they came up with that one. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, they were going to go after the emoluments clause. I think I'm one of 4 people who understands the emoluments clause. Is that rare enough for you? They impeached him twice. They got him on an arcane and recondite New York law where there was no victim, where they claimed that he might have either overvalued or misstated the worth of a particular property, even though the bank has a fiduciary duty to its shareholders to check out loans. I mean, so Trump's going to say, hit him with a Logan Act. Hit Susan Rice with a Logan Act. Why? Because they did it to me, plus they tried to kill me. 3 times, if you really want to be specific. 3 times. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. But believe me, I think you're going to see a new Trump. You see, the New World Order, or what we used to call the New World Order, has flipped. Trump and MAGA are winning, and nobody knows what to do. The geopolitical balance, which we used to talk about this, has completely shifted. It's not real anymore. The deep state, the police state, the shadow government, the intel state, the ruling class, all of these iterations of the same thing are unraveling. It's beautiful. Zelensky started to pull the thread. He's finished. The globalist order is collapsing. America first is winning. It's as simple as that, my friend. I can't put it into any other words other than that, or to be any clearer than that. It's like nothing I ever thought possible. I never thought any of this possible. Never. I'm still freaking out. Trump and JD Vance, I can't say enough about him. Trump and JD Vance have completely taken the game board and kind of pulled the Teresa Giudice and flipped the game board. The MAGA movement has not just survived, it's thriving. 41 days. The radical left is watching in heart. They've got nothing. They keep looking at what Jen Psaki. Jen, do something. I don't know. Who do they have? How about that Lindsey Graham, that twit? That guy all of a sudden who decides he's going to be, I don't like you anymore. Shazam, Sergeant Carter. Now he hates Zelensky. This guy is a twit. An absolute twit. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cox says precedent has been set. Let's see where this goes. Oh, I don't even know if precedent's been set. I think the direction or the course or the how do I say this? The direction, the course, or the tangent, the vector, the coordinates, I think has been set. The next few months are critical. Pay very, very close attention. Expect, as per usual, the deep state to lash out, the shadow government to completely rebel. Expect a lot of people who are still stay-behinds, who can still do some tremendous damage. Expect last-ditch efforts to regain control, but it really doesn't matter because they're finished. They're finished. The world has finally woken up. The Ukraine scam is dead. The deep state is on life support. They don't know what to do. I don't think anybody. I'm serious. There's no what funded them. Their pump system, their circulatory system, their money's gone. And Trump, he's just getting started. He's just getting started. So my friends, remember this: be happy, be jubilant, be thrilled, be excited. Everything you've waited for the longest time is finally here. Everything. Be patient though. Just watch what happens. 41 days. I also want you to do me a favor, and this is very, very important. And there's some wonderful people out there, and I love them dearly, and I think they're really good, and I really like them. There's some great folks who are, I was listening today, she's very talented. Laura Loomer, very feisty and vituperative. Good for you. There's a lot of people out there. But they're getting a little harsh on Pam Bondi, a little bit. We must do something very, very important. Let us not eat our young. Let us not hurt ourselves in remembering who the enemy is. Now, I'm not saying to sit back and not I'm not saying that. But remember, do not misapply or misdirect anger for the enemy to those within our ranks. I'm not saying don't be critical. Just be fair. It's more than the radical left. People patriots are coming to the realization that they have been lied to for decades. They are asking themselves why they supported any of these former presidents. You know what? It's. I think you're absolutely right. Something is happening which is so important and so critical. It's people coming to the realization that when they stop with all the jokes about President Trump, they realize, you know what? This guy's good. This guy's really good. And isn't that wonderful? So, my friends, how great for you to spend this Sunday evening with me. Andrew Hessing and Chris Coxon, Ham Radio, Warren Ocasio, Amoy, 333, thank you. Lori Cuck, Pilgrim Media, Freedom, Bubba T Buzz, DIY, Guru, Freedom, of course, and Ranita Gamboa. Ranita, you send me that information, and I appreciate it. My friends, have a wonderful day. By the way, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us with Mrs. L. She is so ecstatic because of your kindness and your help and her hard work. Right now, we are so proud to say that she is looking at 10,010. She broke the 10,000 barrier, and we are so pleased, and we thank you. We want you to continue watching Lynn's Warriors. All right, dear friends, have a wonderful night. I'm going to watch absolutely none of the Academy Awards. I'm going to see, though, I think on Amazon, there's a video called The Making of Katharine Graham. Very interesting story during the whole Washington Post period, because that was Operation, that was Mockingbird. Phil Graham was her father, with her husband. So we'll see that. In any event, dear friends, have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great and glorious day. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da-da.